Yo guys, what's good? Assy once again with another video. This time's not about Exos Heroes, but actually about Arknights. So this is a game that I was introduced by a friend and it has been out for a long while. I just haven't gotten into it and boy, I regret I haven't. So this game, to put it mildly, is a crossover between like a gacha game and a tower defense kind of game, and I have to admit I'm a sucker for like this kind of tower defense games. I have played them in Warcraft 3 a bunch. I have played like so many tower defenses on the phone, on the PC, like for years and years, and I love them. So this kind of fits exactly the bill that I'm looking for in a game. Can this be a main game? I don't know. It really depends. I'm into the strategy aspect, so maybe it can become a main game in the future where I actually spend more time. But for now, it's just something that I do while I'm waiting for my Exos Heroes, like currencies and all that stuff to refresh, because yeah, I'm fresh out, and if you don't have the resources to build up heroes, it's kind of hard to make guides and all that stuff. So yeah, that's why you don't see a video today, because I simply don't have the resources to build things up, because I still have the resources stored up for the upcoming dungeons that I'm making. So just in case you're wondering, this might be a game that I feature on Saturdays or Sundays once a week, where I'm just talking about it, depending on how much fun I'm having with it. Maybe I'm just playing it by myself, who knows. From what I have experienced so far, this is a complete PvE game. So if you're trying to compete with other people, this is definitely not the game for you. This game is completely PvE. You're building your like units up and try to defend against incoming enemies. So I just started it today. I am very inexperienced, and this is another tutorial mission, and this is actually pretty good to show you what this game is about. So here you have these different units, and this little icon shows what they are. This is a vanguard. This is basically your resource generator for this game, because you need to have certain resources in order to deploy your units or build your towers, in quotes. And this is a ranged attacker that is your anti-air unit and can deal some additional damage. Yes, there is air units, and similarly to other tower defense games, like you have your fast units, you have your really hard hitters, and there's a bunch of different units you need to pick up and yeah, deploy in the right sequence and at the right places in order to do something. Now, you might be used to building mazes and all that stuff, so this is not the case here. So you have predetermined maps, so they are mazes that are generated in before, and here you can see like there is one enemy coming, so we want to deploy our vanguard. He is there for the resource generation, and he can block up to 2 units, and then we also deploy our archer. This is a more heavily armored unit, while these smaller units are just your standard units. The game does a fairly good job of introducing you to the different unit types. So this mission is all about using your resources effectively, and I think I messed this up. Okay, I messed this up because I haven't done this. So I could have made a roadblock and just put this here. So when you unsummon a unit, then they are in some sort of... I cannot do that. They're in some sort of stasis. You cannot summon them for X amount of time, and yeah, that just takes a while. So I might just restart that mission, and that's fine. So for the tutorial missions, you don't use your resource. I think the resource here, like, it's not energy, it's called what is it called? Sanity? Sanity? Yeah. So let's do this again. And yeah, there's a bunch of different units with each of them having unique strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, your goal is to survive and not let enemies pass into your base. So let's do this quickly again. I actually thought I needed to redeploy them to some other place, because that is a valid strategy where you unsummon the units to redeploy them at a later stage. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So this game features a bunch of different game modes where you have like a way to generate the premium currency in this game. And this is, I think, a good introduction to talk about the premium currency. So right now, when you start, you will be greeted with a welcoming gift. And let's quickly show that. Okay, I got duplicate. Okay, so there's a bunch of things in this game. So when you start the game, you will be introduced with a bunch of these currency items that you can use for the banner. So it is enough to do a 10 pull, and the first 10 rolls guarantee one of these 6 stars. And they are all good units, so you don't have to worry about re-rolling a bunch of times unless you really want to. They all have their unique uses and can be used, and this actually goes through the entire game. Most of the units, even 1 or 2 stars, can be used effectively, and it has to do with the deployment cost that you have attached to it. And currently this game has a bunch of banners going on. You can see this ends on the 29th, then this ends on the 24th, and you can see the different heroes go from 1 star to 6 star, where 6 star is the max. So you might wonder, okay, so this is a gacha system. You have done some pulls, but somehow I don't see any duplicates. What is happening with them? So there's a couple of rules in this game. First of all, you cannot use the same unit twice. So if you get help from a friend, like a supporting unit, you cannot choose one of the units that you have in your specific group. And when you get a duplicate, so I had this hero before, Cruise, and I got a duplicate, and then you're able to get these tokens. And with these tokens, you can enhance their potential, which reduces deployment costs, redeployment time, and gives them some stats. So it's a really nice way of dealing with your duplicates, and you don't have to worry like that you pull a bunch of duds, and it's really weird. And yeah, as I mentioned, like even these 1 or 2 stars have their certain uses. And the reason is for them, like, it's mostly their cost. So this unit is one of the AoE units that you need for some stages, and these are usually the higher cost. So he has 24, and then comparing that to an equivalent 4-star unit, let me check this guy. Okay, she's a 3-star. She's 27, and a 4-star would be higher. The same for like here. So Siege is one of my vanguards with 12 deployment cost. She's has the abilities to generate deployment for you. So she's my highest level unit. She's a natural 6-star and has a deployment cost of 12. Then Texas is a natural 5-star, deployment cost of 11. Do I have a 4-star Vanguard? Don't think so. I have a bunch of 3-stars, and these are all 9, and the 2-star would be 7. So they have their uses even if they're at lower level, and there is a bunch of different ways to like upgrade them and specialize in the missions. For a lot of these missions you might use multiple of one, and it doesn't feel like a waste to have lower level units, which is really great. So speaking about lower level units, in the headhunt, so for your real currency, the lowest units you can get are 3-stars. So you will not be able to pull 1 and 2 stars from them. And how you would gain them is from the recruitment system. So this is a fairly unique system in my opinion, because it allows you first of all to get exclusive units that you cannot get any other way in the game, and second of all it allows you to get 1 and 2 stars. And there is a bunch of different methods. I currently cannot show you what's going on here, but in short, you have a research time or recruiting time that can be up to 9 hours, and you just let it run through, and it can give you one of the units. You can search for specific types, and you're guaranteed to get a unit of that type. And if you specify your tags correctly and use the correct deployment time, you can even get 6 stars. These are rare, so the tags appear in like mostly random order, so you want to get more chances by unlocking these offices. Maybe that's a topic for another video, because it's very interesting but also a little bit more intricate. Then yeah, you have these banners, and you need to be aware what you can pull for them, because these are the only units you have available, while there is more units available. Then there's one thing that might be a little bit complex or like not understandable, and that is it's really difficult to see which units you can actually pull. As you can see, units that I haven't pulled are not visible for me at all. So I don't even know what is available from inside the game. It's a little bit yeah, stupid in my opinion, because I would like to see what's going on here, which heroes I can pull and what their abilities do. But on the other hand, it's also kind of cool to either be completely blind and see what you get and not be biased to chase always the best or the highest tier unit. But if you're into that, like, there's a bunch of resource websites out there to show you which units are like better. They're all usable. You actually don't need any 6 stars. They just have some rather interesting or more unique abilities that help you. But you can clear this game apparently also with lower rarity units. Here, like in terms of what you can expect from the game, like you have these missions, they should refresh like a couple of times. I don't know if that is the daily missions, because it just says pinboard missions. I'm assuming it's daily. And then you have a couple of event missions, which I would say are like achievements kind of. And I'm almost through for this event. This might also be refreshed. Then you have your weeklies and they reset, and you can see like in a week you are able to get some of the premium currency. Here from the event you get some, and then from campaign missions, this is when you progress through the campaign to get certain resources in the game. This game is fairly different from the other games I'm used to because there is so many resources. So you have these promotions, which are basically like enhancements where you unlock abilities, passives or something. So here she has her talents currently locked, and I need to promote her in order to unlock them. And you can then see what they do. So new talent, all Vanguard operators attack and defense increases, so that is a passive. And then she gets an active ability. This depends on the hero that you have. Some have passives, some don't have passives. They all have an active. Yeah, you need a bunch of resources that you either gain from completing missions, or you actually have to craft and research. So there's a kind of tech tree, I would say. So you have your base where you are producing things, and like in my factory I produce currently EXP thingies to increase the levels of my heroes. Then I have trading posts where I'm getting more metals in order to create things here. So, and here you have a bunch of resources. You see like upgrade materials, chips and all that stuff, where it requires a little bit of more deeper research what these things are actually doing, like for which hero they're useful. So I saw I need sugar for one of them, so I will generate one of them. And there you can see I got a resource, and great. The upgrading system in general, for 6-star heroes, it is quite expensive. The promotion, as you can see, it requires a bunch of resources, while for 3 stars, it only costs your monetary currency, which is called lung something, lung money. And yeah, they also get new talents and stuff. And yeah, as I mentioned before, 3 stars, 2 stars, they are all valuable units, so you should invest in them as well, not just your strong units. And this is not a good example, seeing that lava is my only unit that I have leveled up, but yeah, those were the units I used the most in the beginning, and now slowly I'm starting to understand, oh okay, I need to level these units up as well. So I'm learning the game the same way as I'm just explaining that to you. Alright, is there something else? Right, okay, so you have these supplies. Always open is the XP missions, and you have different stages like in most other games. Like I didn't beat this one on 3 stars, so that's why I still get it, but I beat it, and that's where I unlock this, and this I cannot clear because my operators are too weak at this point and they just get demolished. And yet you have daily changing dungeons, and yeah, you can get all these things that I have no idea what they're doing. Last up we have this annihilation, and I will do a little bit of gameplay because this is quite cool. You can get this premium currency up to 1200 in a week if you're going through these progresses, right? And I'm already, like, even though I'm already only 1 day in, I was able to clear 100 of them and can work my way through. So let's just get into one of those battles, and you can see I don't have enough friends, so I don't have a unit that I don't have and I can deploy. But yeah, I don't need it. So my goal is currently getting to 200 and deploying them. So this is one of my vanguards that I deploy in order to gain some of my deployment costs. And you can see you also have a unit limit that you need to work with. So I can only place 9 units out of my total of 12. Vanguards like this one can block 2 enemies. So if there's 3 enemies, it would just pass by. So I need to generate second lane of defense, especially because I already know that there will be enemies from down here coming through this lane. And it always shows you where the different enemies come from in a certain way. So right now I'm trying to figure out what my best strategy would be. So I definitely want to have my AoE unit here, because that's where most of the enemies come from. And this little part here is drones, so I want to put them, like my ranged units, in a way that the drones cannot just bypass them, but so that they can also hit some of the units. So this unit can hit everything that passes in here. Optimally I would have placed it here, but I need this spot for something else. And one of my healers I will actually place here, and I changed the direction for them so it covers some more. And now I can put another mage unit. So there is armor classes in this game, so mages can bypass the regular armor while the melee units can't. Some are stronger against armor targets, some are not. If you see this little symbol above their head, that means that their abilities are ready. And you can see this deal AoE arts damage. That means that it can bypass the physical armor, and you can use that. So this goes on for 20 seconds and increases her attack speed. So, and for my AoE unit, this is great because there's a bunch of units coming there. Then this one also arts damage and increases the attack speed, but there's no heavy armored unit, so I don't need that yet. Here this would be attack plus 15, and I also don't need that yet because there's not enough enemies. So these are the little bit more armored enemies. So right now I don't want these to bypass, and this alone is not strong enough, so I want to place another unit there to assist. And here I will deploy a mage who does that for me, and I'm out of the big damage. So you don't see me using my full unit limit, and that is because first of all, I already know that there will be units coming from there, and I don't want to like have them stand in the way. So right now I want to deploy one of the tanks here so that these one-shot hitters don't immediately kill me. And she was very low on health, so I... Okay, let's quickly do this. And I retracted her. If you retract units, you will get half of the deployment cost back, and you need to have some of the money back in order to be efficient with your currency. And I pulled her back because I will need her at a little bit later stage. Here I didn't do it, which was stupid, so one enemy got through. But it's kind of fine because I have this unit there, and I should use my abilities. So this looks pretty decent. He needs to... he wasn't able to do anything. I don't think I can get through them. So there's a bunch of people coming. So I need to have more support. So it requires a lot of different strategies. I needed to let the thing die. And place my healer here. These things are so annoying. They don't have enough ranged units. Okay, and I might just get in time. Place Fender there. Increase my attack. Like here, I'm currently struggling keeping them all away because my AoE units are all done. I'm getting overwhelmed, and this is the part of the game where I like it. I'm getting overwhelmed because my units are not strong enough. This mission is not designed to be completed by me at this stage. If I would, then something would be really wrong. So, but I try to get as high as possible and do some cool things here. I think that is over, but I broke my record. So this is one of my favorite modes because you can just increase your knowledge about the game and experiment with different things. Quite cool. And you can gauge your account strength with this as well. As you can see, I get some rewards here, which is pretty awesome. It's said to be one of the most free-to-play friendly games. So if you are either a very low spender or completely free-to-play in your other games, then by all means join this game. If you're not too much into the competitive aspect and just want to have a nice game either on the side in addition to your main game, or yeah, something that you can sink a lot of time in without having to fear that you're not getting the summons, then this game might be for you. With all that said, I really hope you enjoyed this kind of overview about the game. If you like it, not only the game but also the video, give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like either this or my other Exos Heroes content that I'm currently producing. As always, it was a pleasure to have you here, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the grind.